very good morning to everyone, and thank you for tuning into the Sandton Amateur Radio Club Bulletin this Sunday morning, 13th of October 2024. You are listening to the club station of the Sandton Amateur Radio Club, ZS6STN, which is operated today from the shack of Mark Walker, ZS6MDX. Sunny 23 degrees centigrade, and it's going up to a good hot 30 today after a really hot day yesterday. So be sure to remain hydrated and use the sun apps. This club bulletin is broadcast every Sunday at 8:45 local time on the following frequencies: 145-700 megahertz FM in the 2-meter band, 7115 megahertz lower side band in the 40-meter band via relay from the shack of Knoll ZR6 Delta X-ray, and we're on Echolink on the ZS6 Sierra Tango November Romeo link, so please feel free to come in and listen to those. And for those that may have missed the bulletin, the recordings are uploaded to the club's YouTube channel on www.youtube.com/@ZS6STN, together with the recordings of the club's Power Hour Tech Talks. The agenda for the bulletin today will be the South African Radio League news. We'll go through the club birthdays, some club news, we'll talk about a special topic of interest, and then we'll do the call-ins and swap shop on 40 meters and 2 meters. Starting with the South African Radio League Bulletin. In the news today, the AMSAT South Africa Space Symposium and the October Radio Amateurs Examination. Also the Jamboree on the Air and the CQ Ho Course events. Stay tuned for more information on these and other interesting news items. The AMSAT SA Space Symposium takes place on the 19th of October. Attendance of the AMSAT South Africa Space Symposium on Saturday, 19th October is free of charge, but registration is required to obtain the link for the virtual platform. Program highlights include South Africa's Super Dawn and the International Network and South African National Space Administration, AMSAT North America Satellites for the Future by Burns Fisher, Whiskey Bravo 1 Foxtrot Juliet from AMSAT North America, Amateur Radio Satellites and their orbits from Phase 1 and beyond, what will the future bring from Henny Reeder, ZS6 Alpha Lima November, an innovative power supply for AfriCube from Anton Janowski, ZR6 AIC and Q0100, how to get connected from Gary Immelman, ZS6 Yankee India. Visit www.sarl.org.za and click on the registration link in the AMSAT SA advert on the right-hand side of the home page. Visit www.amsatsa.org.za for more details. October Radio Amateurs Examination takes place on the 19th of October. There were a lot of guys doing their HF assessments yesterday, and it looks like there's going to be a lot of new hands on the air after the exams. Good luck to the folks that are writing exams. It will be written on the Saturday, the 19th of October at various exam centers around the country. The President and the Council of the Radio League wish all RAE candidates the best of luck for their exam. Jamboree on the Air and CQ Ho Course is happening next weekend. The annual Jamboree on the Air and CQ Ho Course activities take place over the weekend of 19th and 20th of October. The Jamboree on the Air runs from Friday evening, 18th of October, till Sunday, the 20th of October, and the CQ Ho Course takes place on Saturday, 19th of October. Thank you to all the radio amateurs who will be involved with JOTA and CQ Ho Course next weekend. Fur trekkers in Namibia will mainly use the call sign Victor 51 Juliet Alpha Mike. The message from the leader of the fur trekkers, Dr. Karen Stoffberg, will be relayed at 10 o'clock Central Africa time on 7090 megahertz. Contact Richard Hooper, ZS6 Romeo Kilo Echo, the National JOTA Coordinator, or Andries Versace, ZS6 Victor Lima, the National CQ Ho Course Coordinator, for further information. Unfortunately, due to various weather conditions, Backcar 12 has been postponed to the 16th of November. The Backcar team reports that part of the planning for Backcar flight is to predict the flight path and request approval from air traffic control authorities. We're not allowed to fly to the west of Secunda, and there is a rather busy aircraft flight path in that region. As yet, we have not had any rain. The winds have not shifted as normal to blow eastward, and the prediction puts our payloads in a no-balloon zone. For this reason, we have decided to postpone the launch to Saturday, 16th of November, so as not to fall foul of air traffic control regulations. Moving on now to our members' birthdays for the week ahead. First of all, James Archibald, for the 15th of October. Dwayne Duthie for the 16th of October. Christine Bauer, 22nd of October. And Jan Schubert, 22nd of October. Wishing you all the very best, and congratulations, and I hope you have good celebrations for your birthdays. Now for some club news. Some good competitions we had last week and this week, where the tradition continues, and hopefully the Sandton clubs in there and makes their presence felt. The 80-meter club contest on Wednesday, the 16th of October. Support the Sandton club and get on the air between 1700 and 1800 UTC. The details are online and in the Blue Book. The next contest next weekend, Saturday, is the South African Radio League QRP contest, the spring leg. Get ready for the contest. It's on the on Saturday the 19th of October. It runs from 2 o'clock till 4 o'clock UTC, and should be a lot of fun. So definitely make sure you participate in that. So we're getting some good turnouts on that, and it's sponsored by the club. The RAE mock exam for the Sandton Club candidates happened yesterday. Good luck for the exam on the 19th. We're looking forward to hearing you guys on the air. So I'm sure the mock exam set you up very, very well there. As mentioned earlier, the Jamboree on the air takes place from next week, from the 18th to the 20th of October. And if you need further details, please speak to Matt, ZS6 Mike Delta Victor, who's coordinating it for the club. Finally, diarize the Power Hour Tech Talk for the 30th of October. It's going to be about Hamnet. It's going to be done via Zoom. We've seen all the news out of the US and about ham radio operators helping during recent hurricanes and so on. It'll be interesting to see what we can do locally to be prepared. Brian Zulu Sierra 6 Yankee Zulu, who is the SARL Hamnet Deputy National Director, will be taking us on the behind-the-scenes tour of the South African Radio League Hamnet. There's lots to get involved in and contribute to. Please do join in, and if uncertain how, please drop us a line on the WhatsApp group or send a message to info@ZS6STN.org.za. So let's move on to today's topic of interest. Some very interesting developments, and the first century is over for ham radio. So where to next? The funny thing is, I did a Google search, and I type in ham radio is ... and then the answers that come up, the first responses come up are dead, dying. Yet we've been going strong since 1925 in South Africa. Next year we're doing the ZS centenary. There's been a lot of notable achievement and growth across the ham radio community over the last 100 years. The early achievements with the Alpha 1 Alpha and John Streeter and the South African Radio Relay League. There was amateur radio making significant contributions during the Second World War in terms of technical developments, support for the war effort from South Africa in terms of availing people with technology and radio skills, manufacturing environments as well, especially out of the Durban environment. And then when we went on to the post-war and into the 1960s, a lot of old military equipment came into the market. Valves are still the name of the game, and a lot of people brought their military knowledge and their military experiences of radio into the ham radio community. From the 1970s up to about 2000, a lot of the solid state environment came to the fore. A lot of mass production of radios. Space communications became part of the menu, if you like. Computerization, Earth, Moon, Earth, the satellite stuff becoming more prevalent, as well as slow scan TV and RTTY modes. In the modern era, we've seen a lot of development on the software-defined radios, digital modes, QRP, and then interesting events such as SOTA and POTA summits on the air and parks on the air, and a far stronger participation in contesting. And so questions then arise: where is ham radio going into the future? And a couple of top issues that I think are being faced. If you look at ham radio, in the old days, a lot of us were attracted to radio, ham radio especially, because you could speak to people in other parts of the world and you could figure out the technical complexities of antennas and radios and all that exciting stuff. In the mobile, internet, social media age, how relevant is that anymore? A lot of people, you pick up your mobile phone, you're going to get to armchair quality copy to anywhere in the world, and you send messages instantly with WhatsApp and Telegram, Signal, and so on. So there's a lot of questions around the relevance of ham radio. There's also the question around technical innovation and how do you attract young hands. The attractiveness of the hobby. A lot of us are in the late 50s or older. How interesting is that to young people who typically are already using social media and so on. Another big area is the impact of RFI and QRM that's risen significantly in the regions we live in, and also the cost and lifestyle associated with ham radio these days. Average new rig costs a fortune, and then homeowners associations and so on are very edgy, let's put it that way, about putting up beams and Yagis and X-beams and long wire, lots of wire around your house. And a lot of the plots are a lot smaller as well. So these are some of the issues that I think we face, and it behooves us to think about these things as we move forward, and we'll get more into make ham radio more interesting and more exciting going forward. Now, I think typically the question to ask is, what do we think ham radio will look like 10 years from today? To that point, the International Amateur Radio Union has issued a Ham Challenge 2024, and they're inviting us to come with game-changing ideas, which increases awareness of amateur radio. So we're looking for your cool ideas or projects which you think are part of the future of amateur radio. By all means, feel free to make a team, share your idea, present your proposal, and bring this to reality. There's a deadline to bring this to the amateur radio with a different perspective. Deadline's the 1st of November, so only a couple of 2 weeks left to get this, to get some thoughts in around this. The details are available on www.iaru-romeolima.org/Ham Challenge 2024. And it's quite a big ask, I suppose. The way we're going to keep ham radio alive going forward. Out there that has been listening in, and for your interest and participation this morning. We trust that you enjoyed the bulletin, and please do constructive criticism. ZS6STN.org.za. We always look forward to hearing feedback and so on. And always thank you to the stations that assisted with the relays, Noel and everybody else, and those who contribute to the content from time to time. Join us again next Sunday at 08:45 Central African time for the regular bulletin of the Sandton Amateur Radio Club. This brings to a close the weekly club bulletin of the Sandton Amateur Radio Club, Zulu Sierra 6, Sierra Tango November, today operated by Mark, ZS6 Mike Delta X-Ray from Krugersdorp. Thank you to all, and 73s, ZS6 Sierra Tango November, now relinquishes for general use. Thank you very much.